We're back to the Toldjucation Celebrity Show on the Toldjucation Network, TotalTutor.net for more information. And one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's because it's inspiring. I lost weight on it one time just for my wife, and I got a little too skinny. And now I'm just trying on the challenge this time, on my 90-day challenge, to try to just be about the same weight as when I was a professional wrestler, but all muscle. So I'm not going to try to lose that amount of weight, but I tell you, if you follow this plan to a T, you're gonna lose weight. So I want to welcome the program former Biggest Loser contestant Mark Cornelison. Mark, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. It's great to be able to be on your show, man.
All right, Mark. So basically the story, definitely every time on any reality television show, there's an interesting storyline that people don't see on television. Isn't that correct?
Almost always, yeah.
I'm learning that from Shark Tank. I'm learning from all the specific guests I've had on different shows. I like to always dig up dirt, specific things, because it's interesting. And so basically, first tell us a little about your background and what made you decide to try to go on The Biggest Loser.
Sure, yeah. I'm a youth pastor down in Texas, close to Houston. Have been for just over 16 years. And for me, a couple of different factors influenced the show. One, I've always struggled with my weight ever since I was in high school, especially in college is when it really kind of kicked in. And, so it's always been a battle for me. But for this one in particular, for this season that they ended up doing couples for, I have my oldest son, his name is Chisholm, who had a really bad accident when he was 9 years old and broke his right ankle, shattered through growth plates, and just really destroyed the ankle. And over the course of the next 5 years, he had 7 different surgeries. He was in a wheelchair for about a year and a half of that time. He just went through a really difficult period of time, and because of all that time off of his feet, he gained a whole lot of weight. So in time from 9 to 15 years old, essentially 9 to 14, but a lot of kids are out there getting active and stuff. He was stuck in hospitals and all this kind of stuff. And so fast forward to when he's a senior in high school, and he's really hadn't been able to do sports once he was able to get back into it, and was kind of cleared from the doctor, and just kind of picked up a lot of bad habits that he had gained from me. And we were huge fans of The Biggest Loser. Happened to be watching for season 11 when they had a casting call invitation or a go online and check out The Biggest Loser. And he and I talked about it, and just in that moment said, you know what, let's give this thing a shot and just see what might come of it.
And again, it's not guaranteed you're going to go on, so you have to have a really good story, because there's casting agents that are looking for specific type people to put in the house, right? And
absolutely, yeah. I mean, there are somewhere and a couple of 100,000 people that try out for the show every season that they have it. And while everybody, I've gotten to meet so many people, which has just been so awesome. Everybody needs help, and everybody wants the help. It's still a TV show, so they're not totally just looking for trying to help. They want something that's going to be compelling, that's going to fit within marketing and trying to sell the show, and for people that really want to get the help and can inspire others along with it.
So tell us this process. You said, okay, we're going to do this. So did you send out a tape? I mean, did you video yourself, or how did it go about first applying?
We did. We actually we went online, and they had the whole application process there. And so we went through the application process, and part of that was to send in a little bit of a video. So we did just a real short video. We actually, what's interesting, we got an email back for season 12, and they said, we're not interested in you guys. They were doing singles that season, so they said, we just think you guys would be better for a couple seasons, but we're done. We'll hold on to your stuff, and thanks for trying out. And Chisholm and I both were kind of like, you know what, that's it. We're done. You know, we didn't really want to. We weren't going to be trying out again and trying to let that be the thing. And so about 3 or 4 weeks later, we actually got a phone call that said from one of the casting people said, hey, we're starting season 13, and we are going to do couples, and we really would like to meet you guys. And so asked us if we would drive to Austin, Texas, where the casting call was going to be. And so we had sent in the application, we sent in the video, we drove to the casting call. After the casting call, we went to another interview, and after that interview, we sent in more videos and filled out more paperwork. And finally, in late August of 2011, they gave us a call and said, "Hey, we want to fly you guys out to L.A. and you're a finalist for potentially making the show." And so we were off to L.A. at that point.
So again, you're not guaranteed once you get to L.A. Because they could just see that you specifically are not coachable, because we all know in reality TV shows you have to be coachable, because if you're not coachable, then you're not going to be the best on camera, right? That's the key thing, that coachability of understanding that you're going to follow the rules of the house, understand that you're going to be able to get along with people to a point, but meaning they cannot have a live wire and put them on reality television.
Well, there's like when we went out, there were 50 people total, so there were 25 couples that were brought to L.A. 10 of those couples were going to make the show. The bulk of what we did while we were there was medical testing, psychological testing, and some of that kind of stuff. So, honestly, Neil, I don't know that they care quite as much about the live wire or people that would challenge them. They're just wanting stability. They're wanting people that, when the whole process is said and done, that they're going to be good representatives of the show, of the principles that we learned out there, and some of that kind of stuff. So it's you know that you're going out there and that you're giving them freedom to do whatever they want. But I know for Chisholm and I, in our case, I mean, we were excited about the help that we were going to get to receive, and being on the TV show made it kind of fun. But we were ready for that, and they liked us. They liked the father-son aspect. They liked Chisholm and I have a great relationship. We have a strong family, and so there were just elements of that fit with what they were looking for our season, and so we ended up getting the opportunity to go.
We're talking to Mark from The Biggest Loser season 11, and with the couples, and we're learning a lot about specifically what happens in this process, the casting call process. Then you're finally chosen. You got to be really pumped up. You got to be really excited.
There was instant mixed emotions because when they said, "Hey, you guys have made it. You're on the show," I remember being really, really excited, and Chisholm was just pumped, and we were just, we're celebrating. And we were in a room with all the people that had, most of the people that had made it, and so we were celebrating with them. But then pretty quick after, it was like, okay, I really don't have any clue what I just signed up for. It was kind of this, what did I just do to myself? And I mean, the thing that you're looking at too, I mean, this isn't The Amazing Race or Survivor or something like that. I mean, we know that the number one reason you get on the show is you're incredibly out of shape. You're in really, really bad health. We know we're fixing to have our diets changed. We know that we're fixing to have serious workouts, and so there's an element of fear that came with that. So excitement was definitely a part of it, but then there was also, wow, I really don't know what's fixing to happen to me. Almost a fear that came out of that as well. But even that was worth whatever was going to happen, because we were excited to get the help that we needed. So,
because you don't want to fail for your health, that's for sure. If you didn't do it, and you didn't get these great coaches that are fantastic trainers, and you still don't lose the weight, or you really don't get your health in order, what a waste of time in so many ways.
Oh, absolutely. And when you look at I love so many of the reality shows and follow those kind of things, follow a lot of those. But, if I get kicked off the island in Survivor, I just didn't win the money. If you don't get what you need off of The Biggest Loser, it's a matter of life. I mean, your health affects absolutely everything. And for a lot of the people that make the show, it really is the key that changes everything for them. And so, you really want to succeed. You really want to do well with it.
Well, great. And so finally it begins. The process begins, and I have no idea who your trainer was, things like that. That's why we're going to have two parts. I'm not going to rush through this, Mark. You're going to be back next month to kind of continue the story, and then we'll see where it goes from there and where we are today on everything. But I think that fans out there are truly into the reality TV, especially The Biggest Loser. What a great show. So finally you get to the ranch, and look out, right? It's a process, isn't it?
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the ranch experience.
Oh, sure, yeah. It was interesting with our season. We started the night that we found out we were going to go. There was a 3-part challenge that actually determined whether you got on to the ranch. So they actually took us to the ranch, but then when we get there, there's a challenge immediately waiting for us. And in that challenge, one of the couples was not going to make it onto the ranch, so we're going home. So it's a little, you get excited and then you're like, okay, what's fixing to happen? Could we be potentially getting back in the van and just heading back home after this? And during that first challenge, I actually tore my hamstring. I ran a 40-yard dash and just shows the kind of shape that I was in, and had a pretty significant tear in my hamstring. Ended up falling. Didn't for a second. It didn't look like we were even going to make it. And then Chisholm ended up pulling it out for us in the second part of the challenge, and he and I were able to get on the ranch. But because of what happened, I immediately went into the very first workout at the ranch injured, and it wasn't bad enough that they were going, hey, we need to send you home, but it was bad enough that I couldn't do what most of the people did. I did a lot of, for the first 10 days, I did a lot of rehab kind of stuff. I was on machines in the medic's office, and I had a pretty improvised program. So there's a lot of concern with that, because I'm going, okay, I'm here with my son. I want to do well. We're finally in this really cool place. It's absolutely beautiful. It's the ranch is a beautiful location. You're going. There's the TV part of it, but that's not even really the big deal as much as it is just the support that you're getting and all this. And because of my injury, I mean, if they're sending us home as couples, I gotta lose the weight. I gotta pull this thing off to be able to help us out. So definitely enjoy getting to get out there and be out there. But the beginnings of it were really rough. It was not just getting to celebrate that, because it was kind of a rough start for he and I both.
Well, it sounds like it was a rough start, and I guess the last thing you could tell us before the first part one is over, who knows how many parts, is you've been really good at telling us the story so far. Who ended up being your trainer when you started on the ranch?
I was very fortunate. I had Delbeck Quince was my trainer. The way they did our season 2, just real quick, is we get into the first workout and we find out we're not going to have the same trainer. So Chisholm had to have a different trainer, and he really liked Bob, and so I didn't really know Delbeck. He had only done one season at that point, and I hadn't seen a whole lot of him. But then I tell you what, he and I absolutely clicked, and he's just a phenomenal guy, just a great trainer, and we ended up having a really good relationship over the course of the show. And even today, I mean, we still connect with each other and text and talk, and he's pretty outstanding. I really like that guy.
Well, and that's interesting. So I guess when we get back next month to talk about it, and I think you're the first person I said, let's do 2 parts to these, because I know our listeners want to continue to learn more about you, Mark. Where can they find more information on you? And I guess we'll have you back exactly the same time next month. Put it in your calendar, same time for the recording. Okay. But where can we find more? And please stay on the line after our interview's over. Don't hang up, because I want to talk to you afterwards. Where can we find more information on you and learn more about you, Mark?
Yeah, we've actually, my wife and I, since we got off the show, have set up a website. It's sweatcor.com, SWEATCOR.com. And basically we just use that to be able to connect with people that have questions about health and fitness, questions about the show. It's totally free. We don't try to sell anything. I mean, we're not trying to make money off of it. It's just the show is such an incredible opportunity for me and my whole family that it's kind of our way to be able to connect with people. So you can go to sweatcor.com. They can also look for Sweatcor on Facebook. They can look for me on Facebook. I tend to add pretty much anybody off of Facebook. I just like to talk to people and connect and help however I can. So there's a couple of different ways. You can check out my Twitter as well. You can look for Sweatcor on Twitter, or you can look for me. So we try to use all the social media stuff we can. I've been, in the past year, it's been crazy, been pretty much all over the country, getting to speak and share about experiences, and been in schools and businesses and churches. And
fantastic. So, I can't wait to hear the second part next month, man. It was good talking to you, and awesome. We'll talk right after the interview. You're listening to the Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment, and we'll be back in just a moment.